This video is going to be looking at how to create user roles and how to change user permissions from the perspective of a system administrator. So anytime as an admin you want to add or change somebody's access, all you have to do is go to settings on the top right hand corner. Once you click settings, it'll take you to this user settings part at the bottom of your page. Changing your password is obviously something you can only do for yourself. But if you'd like to create a new role, you're going to hit roles. And if you'd like to change any role that a user has, you're going to click users. And we'll go through each of these in a little bit more detail. So to start off, if you want to create a role, all you do is click the roles button. And you can see here we already have two roles called administrator and leader. And if you ever want to see or change the access that somebody has within this role, you simply click on the name of the role. And you can always add a description if you'd like. And if you go through each of these tabs at the top, you can see that a leader has access to add and view contacts, but not edit or delete. Now, if I'd ever like to change that, all I have to do is remove the check mark. Sorry, you have to hit edit first. You can remove the check mark from something that you no longer wish to provide the leader access to, or you can add a check mark to something you wish to add access to. And then at the end, you'll just save your changes. So I'll just revert back to the original and hit cancel. But that's ideally all you'd have to do. And then you can just exit out of here and you'll be back to the home page for the user permissions. And then if you'd like to add a role, you hit add role up here. And we can call this test role. And you can change if this role is active or not. So suppose you at one point in time did have somebody in this role and now you don't, and you might have them again in the future. You don't have to delete the role, you can just make it inactive. But we can move, we have to save that. And we can move over to contacts and say we want to give them access to the tribute tab. Again, you have to hit edit. So we'll give them access to the tribute tab, the volunteers tab, and the activities they can add, view, edit, or delete. And again, this is arbitrary, but feel free to do whatever is applicable here. You keep going. So let's say that we give them editing rights to the calendar, but not to the task list. And then at the end, you'll see all of these go to the same place, and then you just hit exit and it saves it for you. So in the event that I decide that a role is not useful anymore, or that maybe I messed up and I just want to restart and so I want to delete the role, all I do is hit on the role and then you hit edit and then you hit delete. And then it says, do you want to delete this template? Because you're basically deleting the entire role, not just this page, which is why it asks you. And then you click OK. And then it's gone. So that's it. So again, as an administrator, currently the settings are where you have full access. One person in the database at all times, at a minimum, one person must have full user access, and that's so that they can change other people's roles. But that's all you do, and then you're all set. If we go back to our home page and we go to users under user settings, what you'll see is that you can add somebody and assign them a role that you actually made. So the role is kind of like a template that has all the different types of permission access that you can change, and it just makes it easier to apply those settings to multiple people. So for example, we want to call somebody test first name, and test last name because we're super creative. I'm going to assign them with the role of a leader, and I'm going to say that this person is active. And for the type, we'll say that they're a full user. Now that basically means that they have access to the entirety of that role. We're going to add user and continue. And you'll see that it asks for a lot of information. This is to make sure that you can really verify the person and that you can change their settings at any time. So for example, here you see lock status. If somebody is having too many failed password attempts, or for whatever other reason you wish to lock them out, you can either manually do that, or they would get locked out automatically if they have too many password mistakes. But you would basically finish filling it out here. So we'll go back to test first name, test last name. And then again, here we say that they're active, and that's because we're trying to add a new user, but you can always edit a user information and make this no again if you'd rather have them be on like a temporary leave rather than actually delete the entire person from the database. So then we'll hit save and let it think a little bit. And then you'll see that all of this information is now saved. So if I'd like to go back and modify, I can hit edit. If I want to change this person's information, I'll hit edit. If I want to delete them all together, you can hit delete. And that's pretty much it.